Let's get right into this review for Smile 2. Alright y'all, so Smile 2 is the official sequel to Smile, which first came out in 2022, and I'll be honest, I don't know why I've never seen the first film in its entirety. Rather, I only watched clips and spoiled myself on how that film ends up concluding. But anyways, to get straight to the point, did you have to watch the first film to thoroughly enjoy this sequel? No, you did not. I'm happy to report that Smile 2 is still a great standalone film even if you never watched the first. The main reason being that the entire cast for this sequel is completely new, other than the smiling monster lurking throughout both films' core narratives. Now as for the casting, I thought they were excellent. You follow Naomi Scott playing as Sky Riley for the entire film, and she's really the only one who shines bright from the entire roster of characters. Naomi's acting here is incredible, and I loved seeing her expressions and reactions to every weird and tense situation she's a part of on screen. Every other cast member here played the side roles, and I have to say right off the bat, these characters felt incredibly shallow compared to the main protagonist. And typically, I'd consider bare-bone characters to be a negative for a film's narrative, but surprisingly, I thought this actually worked in favor of this particular story here. Having these bare-bones side characters actually helped to elevate some elements presented in the story, such as the feeling of isolation and hopelessness the main character feels throughout this tense film. So yeah, at the end of the day, I thought everyone served their purposes well for the sake of this story, and I enjoyed the performances that the cast provided, especially Naomi Scott. Now, how's the story for Smile 2? I thought it was a pretty fun time from beginning to end. The strongest was definitely the build-up in Act 1 and a great portion of Act 2. After that, the promise of this film started to dwindle down for me by Act 3 as they chose to go a more franchisey route. This direction definitely still made sense when looking back at the way the story played out. But yeah, just to keep things as general as possible so I don't get into spoiler territory, I'll end with this. There were potentially smarter routes they could have chosen to go for in Act 3 rather than what we're given here. But at the end of the day, I still thought this overall presentation of the story was great by the time credits rolled. There's enough built-up tension, a solid chunk of cheap jump scares, and well-crafted creepy visuals placed throughout, which I believe will be more than enough to keep the viewers satisfied for a night out at the theaters. It's not trying to go above and beyond in the storytelling, but rather sticks to the basics of what a modern horror film needs and excels within those boundaries. It's a film that came out in the right season and does have some solid sequences and execution within the narrative that kept me entertained in this 2 hour and 12 minutes runtime. So my final score for Smile 2 is 7.5 out of 10. If you were already interested by the trailer, I don't see how most people would justify this film having more cons than pros by the end of the screening. There's more than enough here to keep you entertained and satisfied, which I believe makes this an easy recommendation for a one-time watch experience for horror fans, Smile fans, and those seeking a fun night out. Anyways, thanks for checking this review out. Please do subscribe and hit the notification bell to see more of my future content as soon as it releases. It does mean a lot to me when I see a steady flow of viewers watching the content I make, and once again, I do appreciate all who already take the time to watch my reviews, and I look forward to seeing you again in my next upload, but until then, peace.